And I'm Matt.
And this is week 1 of our beginner air steps and dips and tricks class for the month of November. So we started with a few basic concepts of basing and following and jumping through our air steps. So the first thing is, leaders, when we base, you want to make sure that you have your sumo wrestling position with your feet and knees spread apart outside of the hips and our knees flexibly bent.
We want to make sure that our back is nice and straight. We don't want to be pitched forward or pitched back right here and have our hips forward. We want to be right here and have our hips out so that we're ready to brace for anything.
Yeah. Follows, we practice a little bit of climbing onto our leads, so this isn't something you have to do regularly, but to just get used to having your feet off the ground, you can start with climbing on your leads in different ways. Great, so then from there we practice jumping, so we want to make sure we're absorbing the release and landing. So we're bending our knees, sinking down and then up, and absorbing into that landing, making sure we never land with our knees straight. Our first practice move we went into was just the jump where we connect together. Leads, you're going to place your hands on your follow's waist. Remember, think like crabs. We don't want to think about pinchers with the fingers. We want to connect with the whole finger and the whole webbing of our hand. Follows, you're going to place your hands on your leads' wrists. And then for the count off, we went 1, 2, 3, down, up. And when we went up with the jump, we went straight up. We didn't split our legs or lunge forward at all. We just went straight up to the ceiling. So it looks like this.
And remember, leads, we talked about if she pitches forward or if her weight goes anywhere at all, we need to make sure, number 1, that we get under our follow, right? So that they don't fall.
Right, so the counting looks like this. We go 1, 2, 3, down, up, and down. So remember, follows, absorb your landing with your knees. Don't just land, absorb the landing. And then we went to our really cool move, which is the mop the floor. So if we're thinking of swing dancing, we want to start in cross hand position in our Roman handshake with our palm of our hand to our follows or leads wrists. And we want to start this move with our thumbs up and go ahead and go into an underarm pass so that we end with our fingertips up. Now this is kind of an awkward positioning, but we know we're ready to do the mop the floor when our fingertips are facing to the ceiling. So from here we count it off. The move looks like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, rock, step, lean, step, spin around, and up. So that's the mop the floor with the varied ending of the spit. Going through that quickly, we start with our fingertips facing up. We both rock step, follows rocking on our right, leaders on the left. We rock step, follows cross in front with the right and start leaning away. Leaders step out with the left and lean. We want to make sure we're actually leaning and not just pitching with our body this way. We lean out and away. Second slow, we step follows, crossing over with the left, and we start to go down to the floor. This buildup of momentum is what gets us to turn. We land on the ground with our left leg or thigh, butt cheek, and we complete the turn. Leaders, remember not to crank your follows arm. We have momentum built up from leaning. We've completed the mop the floor when our feet, knees, and chest are facing our lead, and then we're ready to come up into the spit. So for the spit, leaders, you're going to be stepping out with your left leg to bring your follow up. Follows, I'm going to practice that jump concept we talked about at the beginning by jumping up, and then leaders, you're going to be bringing your follow towards your side of the body, and then we end jumped in this position. So the ending quickly looks like this. 1, 2, 3, up, and